Hello and welcome back to Country Boardwalk Studios. If you're new to this channel, I'm CB Mac, a multimedia artist who loves to do plein air painting, urban sketching, and making my own art supplies. So let's see what we've got for you today. Hello boardwalkers. In today's video, I thought we'd do some paintings of hummingbirds around my hummingbird feeder. And as you can tell, the ground is really bad, soggy and wet. We're in the middle of a rainstorm, and we've had a numerous amount of trees, branches fall down from our trees in the yard. So let's head inside and we'll get started painting in the studio. Okay, boardwalkers, we're back in the studio and I have my Meeden covered palette with my MaimeriBlu, Daniel Smith, Winsor Newton watercolors, and my Etchr 6-inch square sketchbook set up with my paints and my brushes. I had going to try and show you how to paint some hummingbirds. I've recently been working on this painting. Let me see if I can get it pulled up enough where you guys can see it. It's a 9x12 that I just recently finished, and I thought today I'd show you how we would paint this hummingbird in particular. And I apologize for the light shine on it. I've got my drawing set up already. My pre-mixes of paint are going to be a spring green color made with the primary yellow and the Phthalo turquoise. I believe that is the Winsor & Newton one. Our darker green for the hummingbird is going to be a mixture of the Sap Green and our Ultramarine blue, this one right here. Then I've got some Jane's Gray and some Sandal Red mixed, and it looks like some of my Payne's Gray has mixed in with some of that red, which will be all right for right now. But I thought what I would try to do is show you how I painted this hummingbird. We're going to use my 3/4 square Princeton Neptune flat wash brush, and we're going to paint around the bird that I have drawn here, because I want to put in a background behind it. Now, I am making this look really puddly wet, and that is because we are under a heat advisory this week. Again, last week we were under a heat advisory, and we've been experiencing heat indexes of 104 or 5 degrees Fahrenheit. And I think that's somewhere around maybe 40, 42 degrees Celsius, if I remember correctly on my math and converting. But I am painting around the hummingbird. And you can see how wet that paper is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in, make sure my brush is clean because I was painting a while ago. I want to make sure this brush is clean. And it is. So I am going to pick up a little bit of this water and continue to mix some of this fresh green. I want to use a light green for my background so that the bird will pop. And I'm just dropping this in. And if it does a vignette, that's fine, and if it doesn't vignette very much, that's okay too. But we're going to go ahead and finish mixing this phthalo turquoise and this primary yellow to get us a light green effect here. And get this paint to move. Leave that bill a little bit light. And let's finish in here, because what I want is the wings to be light and not detailed, but I want it to make it look like they're moving. I want to show some movement in it, and I want it to be just enough where we can see it contrast nicely. But it's just a really simple shape. And I've got some hair in there. It's basically just an oval shape, and we just take out the wings like this and indent a little bit and come across here. And then I've got a pencil line right there because I'm going to kind of try and follow where that break is so that we make it look like there's 2 wings in the back. Now, while this is drying, we're going to go in here with some dark Payne's Gray, a little bit of this Sandal Red, and give it a reddish tinge. I want to take this and just drop this in. The first background was wet on wet, and this is going to be some wet on dry. And I'm just going to drop this in. Now, I am going to make a little bit of a V space here to leave some white for that neck, because we're going to make that red. And then we're just going to drop this in. And I just want to paint it in as quick as possible. I don't want to spend a lot of time with details. I just want the impression of a hummingbird here. Alright, we've got that in. Now while this is still wet, I'm going to go in with this darker green color. It's like a turquoise green kind of color. And I'm just going to go right directly over that to give us kind of a shadow look. This Jane's Gray is going to give us the shadowy look. Come on, feather out there. And then we're going to go across the top of this head. And I don't know if you can see, but my paper where my background is, it's slightly damp, but it's already starting to dry out. So we're going to get this head in here. And I've kind of bumped that outward. See if we can straighten that up a little bit. There we go. And then I'm going to come across here a little bit and just blend this out. I just want to blend this out. And put a little bit of color down here on this section. Alright, and we're going to let that go because it's starting to dry again. Now on these wings, I'm going to dip in and get me some more of this Jane's Gray. And I just want that like so. I'm going to take my flat brush first, and now I'm going to just wet this because I want the wings to kind of feather out. And if it mixes with the background, that's okay. But we want most of the wings to just feather out lightly. And we'd much rather the water push toward the background instead of into our wings. See how that's feathering out just nicely? We're going to take it all the way down. We're going to go past our pencil and try and just follow that line a little bit. And blend that in. And see how that's giving that just a really feathered texture on the bottom here and across the top here. We'll go across the top. Get that to feather out if we can. Come on. Now this top part of the wing here is going to be a little bit lighter because it's on the other side of the bird. So I'm going to come in here with maybe a little bit more dark line right in here. And darken that up just a hair right here. Rinse my brush. Now what I can do is come back in here with a slightly damp but clean brush and straighten up this other wing here. And just drag it back toward this corner. And straighten that up to kind of give that edge. It's kind of hard. Kind of soft and blended. There we are. Now we're going to take our, and this was with our number 8 brush, our number 8 round. I'm going to pick up my number 2 Princeton round, and I'm going to dip this into the James Gray. Twist my brush because I want that to be really thin. I want it to be really thin. I want some thick paint, but I want that tip. I want that tip to be really pointed. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to come across the center of this bird, and we're going to try and eke us out a bill. See if I can get a little bit more paint on there and get that a little bit smoother. It's not wanting to flow. There's a better tip. There's a better tip. Alright, now I'm going to come right back across the top and get that to flow just a little bit better. There we are. Just barely try to get that to go there. And then we're going to put a eye right about there. Rinse my brush. Make sure this brush is clean, because we're going to go in now with this red. And we're going to drop this in for our throat. And what we're going to do is we're going to fade it to the white on a little bit of that neck. See if I can get that to look a little bit darker. I'm going to go down here with some just clean water. Make sure that stays clean. And soften this edge. And then I can go back in with this red. And get it a little bit thicker and brighter. And then come in here with a little bit brighter color, and see how that's still wet, and then that'll soften that edge and give that feathery texture. And that's how we can make a ruby-throated hummingbird. Go back in with my little number 2 and get just a hair bit of paint, and then right about here just put what would be his feet. being tucked up. And we're only going to see one foot because the other one's going to be on the other side. And there we have our hummingbird. And there we have our hummingbird, guys. And I look forward to seeing you guys again next week, boardwalkers. Goodbye for now. Thank you for watching the video, boardwalkers. If you've enjoyed this video, could I get you to click that thumbs up like button? And then share this video with someone who you think might enjoy this video? Also, click the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. It makes a huge difference to the growth and the support of this channel. And don't forget those comments and questions you might have. I do read each and every one of those, and I try to answer all the questions you have. Now, go watch these videos.